Hi, my name's Tim Rohr, president of Exascan, manufacturer of industrial-grade infrared windows. Infrared windows that give you more structural integrity, more field of view, more accuracy, and more for your money. This video is going to focus on why you should use infrared windows. So basically, it comes down to a matter of de-risking your work processes. De-risking for your personnel, de-risking for plant assets, and de-risking for plant uptime. So with closed panel inspection, which is what we're talking about when we're using an infrared window, what we're doing is we're eliminating the hazardous task of actually opening those enclosure doors. Because every time that you open those doors, you risk actually triggering an arc event. Okay, if you look in 70E, it is listed as an activity that is likely to trigger an arc event and therefore would require the use of personal protective equipment. When you use an infrared window and are performing closed panel infrared inspections, you do not need that additional PPE because you're not engaged in a task that is likely to trigger an event. So again, this comes down to a matter of de-risking, not only for safety, but also for protecting plant assets and plant uptime. So a lot of people will say, well, you know, it's on a hinged door, or it's only 480, with the assumption that the incident energy levels would be lower on that, and therefore they should go ahead and open the equipment. But in reality, if you were to look into 70E for what it really says, what we're supposed to do is not just reach first for our PPE and then engage in hazardous tasks. We're supposed to substitute in lower versions of the hazard we're working with, or we're supposed to engineer out the likelihood of triggering that hazard using a variety of methods, including things like infrared windows. So PPE use is actually last on the list of what we're supposed to do. It is your last resort, not your first resort. So infrared windows help you to comply with that very important safety standard. In 70E and CSA Z462, in safety-related design area, it talks about installing inspection windows for non-contact inspection reduces the need to open doors and remove covers. The 70E handbook goes on to explain, infrared and viewing windows eliminate the high-risk task of opening energized electrical equipment when employees perform periodic inspections to evaluate the equipment's condition. Eliminating this task reduces the employee's likelihood of initiating an incident. Because closed panel inspection help you to maintain a normal operating condition, it also keeps the inspection outside the restricted approach boundary and does not require additional PPE, which may or may not be being used properly. Closed panel inspection also helps you to comply with OSHA's General Duty Clause, which requires employers to provide a workplace that is free from conditions and activities that are recognized by the industry as hazardous. This is especially the case in conditions where we would consider equipment to be uninspectable because the incident energy levels are too high and therefore no PPE is available, or in some instances where site restrictions require that certain enclosures not be opened due to voltage. And as a bonus, you're going to be able to get better data because you're going to be able to inspect under higher load where the faults will identify themselves more readily, and you'll be able to inspect more frequently for those critical assets on site while reducing the amount of background noise due to reflections. Again, all of this further details is in the white paper. Finally, time studies have shown that the time to complete IR scans using IR windows is 95% fewer in man-hours than performing it the traditional open panel method. And that's because with multiple people removing panels, that process, including PPE dress up and dress down, is somewhere on the order of an hour, maybe an hour and a half in man hours in many cases, and that same process can be done by one person in a matter of 4 minutes. So as a result, the payoff in man hours alone, cost justifies IR windows in 1 to 2 inspection cycles in many plants. So use IR windows, improve plant safety, comply with the standards automatically, improve your data, save money, and protect uptime. Thank you for taking the time to view this video. If you have any questions about the content of this video or suggestions for content for other videos, we welcome your input. Please contact us. Thanks, and stay safe.